Ramon Yo. To the double TV funnel in these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning steam is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.
And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam for Monday, September 2nd. Rod, we're in September. Thanks for joining me here today. And what a weekend, Rod. Whether or not it came out ahead or not, just exciting to, I don't know, thought last night was a pretty good capper yesterday with that football game. And yeah, we had some other action too, but pretty exciting. Good weekend. Hope you're doing good. Thank you for joining me today, sir.
Yeah, Dave. Good morning, Ramon. Good morning, everybody. Here at Tony's Picks. Excited for the morning steam, and definitely, I can't complain about my weekend. Nice 5-1 day yesterday, so let's continue rolling. 9 out of the last 10 days since I've been here at Tony's Picks. I've been winning one, so let's just keep it rolling. Nuggets of wood. Let's keep it going in the right direction.
Well,
money in your pockets. Horrible.
The wacky style. Thanks everybody for coming in today. Look, we got, what can you say? We got a little baseball, we got a football game. It's a holiday. Maybe we have half a show here between us, Rod. We can make do with our cards. We got daytime action. We got daytime baseball. So that's the fun part of it. Whether hopefully everybody's off today. We're all off. Not you and me, Rod. We're here. And
still working. There's no days off. No days off in the grind of sports betting. And finding those winners. It's a daily grind of finding those winners. But I love it. It's doing what we love. I can't wait. Smaller card, but there's definitely some spots that I believe we can find some winners and stack our pocket with some cash.
Yeah, Dre, hello, good morning. Also going to have Jorge Gonzalez join us here for the show. Just arrived, so we're going to just say hello to everyone. We'll bring in Jorge, and then we'll talk a little baseball. We'll try to make the best of it, and hopefully you guys can guide us along the way. Lando, hello, good morning. Good morning to everyone in the chat. And Thomas, hey, thank you, everyone. Make sure, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Tony's Picks here on YouTube, the 42,000 subscriber juggernaut. And okay, here comes Jorge joining me. All right, now we got a show here today. Rod, thank you, Jorge. Hello, good morning.
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
Going good. Good morning, Jorge. How are you doing?
Fantastic, man. Still kind of in shock that we actually played like a real football game, like running the ball and just defense all over the place. I mean, we can actually say it was, even though not top tier, but to have East Coast football played in Las Vegas, since back when Jason Thomas was the quarterback and John Robinson was the head coach, and they beat Arkansas in the bowl game. We haven't seen it in that long. So had a lot of people texting me, people I grew up with out of the blue, just, enjoying it. So Vegas has turned into a football capital, and we saw that last night with the big game there between USC and LSU.
Yeah,
big game in that one last night. I think people thought it was going to be a little more high scoring when that recency bias, when they seen what USC's defense was like last year. Bringing in that new defensive coordinator definitely looked like USC's improved a whole lot. I'm going to say 200%, a lot on defense.
Well, no, guys, and here's my angle on the game. I put out the dog, I put out USC, and I put out the under. So I'll pound a game, and it's when you see a game that is going to be a little bit overinflated. Look, they have two quarterbacks that are starting this Sunday from each one of those teams. I don't care how good those quarterbacks are going to come in. Two things are going to happen. One is they're not going to produce at the same level as two Heisman winner play. Secondly, the coach is going to protect them a little bit by trying to establish the run. LSU obviously was going to do that with 4 linemen back. USC, I mean, Lincoln Riley is Lincoln Riley. I mean, I know we talked a little bit about West Coast football, but, and someone, and I can't remember who it was in the chat, he made a great point. Difference between UCLA and USC, one's a basketball school, one's a football school.
Right?
We can say that. It showed, right? It showed over the years.
Yeah.
It doesn't go year by year. It goes by program, right? The prestige and what the championships they've won. But long story short, I mean, that was an interesting game last night. I'm a big tennis fanatic, so I was going back and forth between the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a great crowd last night at the game here too. So I don't know, those, they talked about a little bit on the broadcast. Some teams, nowadays in today's super conference environment, we're kind of making fun of teams like Notre Dame right now and trying to figure out and I think with power ratings and all that, it'll all solve itself. I hope eventually. Had 12 big spots out there to fill in their little tournament. So, but nonetheless, when you look at LSU and USC, they're willing to step out and step up in a big game and, not have to play, some weak sister to get their season started. We saw, man, just, I think more flawed than usual. And I think it's part of the new environment of the NIL stuff, right? The FBS, FCS, it's a big flop right now to a certain extent compared to even in years past. It just seemed like this weekend, guys, is there more of the FBS, FCS openers right now? And we just ended up with so many lopsided games when those teams were matching up, man. Let's just play.
Guys, that was unique Saturday. It was the most games ever played on a Saturday ever in the history. And it creeped up on me. I'm not going to brag like I was all over the top. I wish I was. I mean, I did great. I mean, I think 11-4 overall. Last night's game was pretty big. But what I started seeing, guys, is over in Dublin, right? It doesn't matter how experienced that quarterback is. That's, you come in with the new guys, pick up basketball, anything. You need chemistry, man. You're not going to throw the ball all over the place. There's nothing wrong with Notre Dame. Leonard just ran the ball. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the chemistry yet. He doesn't know his receivers' moves. He doesn't know where they're going to be. And that's natural. And I think we all of us, the sports world, expect them to come in and tear it up like they did at the last team. Well, if they're bouncing around, even Johnson, God, which team is I'm losing my mind on right now? I think it's NC State. Bouncing around all over. It wasn't NC State, North Carolina. Bouncing around all over the place doesn't mean just because they've started at 3 different schools that they're going to come in and be an all-star right off the bat. So I think that had me on quite a few unders, and I love to play the totals. So I'm not going to pound those unders these weeks in. I think as they get used to each other, we're going to see them start putting up the numbers they normally do.
This is what we always see, right? We normally see unders. The defenses are usually always ahead of the offenses to start the season. Definitely, I was on a few unders too, not on overs. But the public loves their over. They definitely love their overs because they want to see scoring. And just as you said, Jorge, it's tough for those QBs new into the system, sometimes new under a new head coach. They got to take that little bit of work to get things rolling on offense. But as you said, later in a few weeks down the line, watch out. We're going to see some fireworks because we got some good quarterbacks in college this year. I'm excited moving forward. We're going to see some big, high-scoring, explosive games. They're coming.
And appreciate also joining us for the show. Give us a new chance at our expanded format a little bit today here on a holiday. I think a good chance for me to practice a little bit too and balance a little bit more of a hosting duty. We got Stephen Duncan joining us also today here on the morning. Steve, hello. Stephen, good morning.
How you doing, guys? Good.
Nice to meet you, Stephen.
Morning, Stephen.
Nice. Jorge. Rod, again. Nice to see you again, buddy.
I'll just fire up with the show then. I look, head on over to tonyspicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages. We better go over there just real quick and look at the yesterday's leaders. With Rod leading the way, 5-1. Scott Doubles Shooty 4-0. Pretty strong day here. Look at the handicappers. Ron Hahn 6-2. There's Jorge Gonzalez 4-1 yesterday. David Racy 4-1. Pretty deep leaderboard here yesterday. Mark Butterscotch Eubanks, Ron Crawford, OG Cappers, BIP, Kevin Thomas, the whole crew there, it seems like, on the leaderboard. So join us over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. That'll save you 15%. You click on the All Cappers tab. You'll find all the handicappers listed there. Pick the handicapper of your choice and get signed up. Give you guys a chance to sell your wares a little bit here at the end of the show, guys. That's how we'll do it. I want to get rolling here today and juggle these hosting duties a little bit, figure out this great format. This is kind of what we're gravitating to here at the sites, if you will, since we're getting together. So let's get rolling a little bit and just preview our sports day, if you will. And we're going to start off with the football game, if you don't mind, tonight, guys, just because it was so good last night. Hopefully this one kind of can stand out a little bit tonight with Boston College here taking on Florida State. Well, maybe it was a little bit of a disaster last week for the Seminoles over there in Dublin, Ireland, but now they'll get a chance to maybe a little bit familiar territory. And they knocked this one down pretty good, guys. Jorge opened it up, could have been as high as 22. It's not even a little bit lower than this, but right now it looks like we're looking at about, maybe 16 and a half. Total 50 here for the Noles. But again, there's been a bit of adjustment. I don't know. You guys can characterize it too much, not enough, just right. Not a close game expected. Jorge?
Kind of too early. I mean, it's no different than any of the other games, but they're coming back across from playing in Europe. So they're gonna have some fatigue, definitely more than Boston College. Boston College makes a short trip. We saw Georgia Tech have to play Georgia State, and their offense was fine. The defense, they're going to be a little tired. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Plus, that's an inner city rivalry. Those guys just want to take a shot at it's their Super Bowl if they can pull off that win. So they came out with a pretty big effort. Georgia State was still able to pull it out. Now, there's a huge, line move on this, and it's come down so much. I almost think that some of the big boys are out there just trying to bring it down low enough so they can pound it the other way before this game goes. We're talking about a 7-point swing into the teens and lower 20s, which is a very possibility that could end up there, guys. So, if anything, hey, you got Brian O'Brien now, the head coach at Boston College. And as you can see, by the way, I played my games last night. I'm an ugly better, man. I'll take the ugly game, the ugly pick all day long. It's not sexy. And I think we're going to see a little bit of that here. But, hey, they also got Tim Lewis as the defensive coordinator over there at Boston College. So he's going to have some schemes playing. They're going to be hitting. I'll tell you one thing we're going to see out of this. I like the total under lean guys, but I think we're going to see Boston College become a hitting team with their new defense coordinator.
Right.
I do like what Boston College got going on defensively, but this Florida State offense definitely after that first game under their belt, I think they can unleash. I actually like the over here. As we talked about unders, you got to remember this is the second game for Florida State. I think they start to unleash that offense a little bit. And we know this is a rivalry head-to-head between these two teams. It's always a battle. And you look, where have they finished? The last meeting, we got 60 points. The meeting before that was 58 points. The meeting before that hit 49. So usually right around this number, but I'm going to go with the over. I think we get enough points in this one. And you look, the way Boston College is, their last 7 games in September have gone over the total. So give me the over in this one.
Stephen, any opinion here tonight, college football action?
I'd probably go Florida team total over. I think they're going to be putting up most. That would be my play on this one. That would be it.
And I'm going with the over with Rod as well. Thanks to everybody in the chat for their picks on this one today. You guys did a pretty good job here. I'll just toss the notes aside. I'm so excited you guys are here, man. This is the first day of the rest of my life, it feels like, here today. So appreciate everybody, and especially our big turnout in the chat here on a holiday. I'm going to grab the over here. As I do think that we'll see a better situation for Florida State here. I think that was a little bit of the logistics of it all over there with that game last week. Here, it's 16 and a half. Like I said, it was as high as 22. It's obviously an adjustment off of what happened. It felt like here last week with that team, but everyone kind of with their opinion in the chat. Appreciate you guys very much. Enjoy that game tonight. That's our only other kind of event. I mean, we know there's some other stuff going on. I'm ready for the tennis action too, but all right. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball for today, guys. We'll take a look at this card in chronological order, if you will, and started off here with the Cardinals on the road against the Brewers here with Andre Palante going up against Freddie Peralta. I'll figure out how to pick somebody new every time, but I'll just kind of keep it in order, maybe reverse clockwise with me, Rod.
And you look at this one first here. Andre Palante definitely been pitching well his last few starts. I'm going to say his last 4 starts where he hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in those 4 starts. Definitely looking real good. And Freddie had a little bump in the road there, but last time out looked real good. Went 6, gave up 2 hits, no earned runs. His last 3 starts, Freddie's looking like the Freddie of old and pitching well. I think we got a pitcher's duel on our hands in this one. I'm going to take the under in the first 5. I believe it's at 4. 4.5. Shop that number. Take the under. First 5. St. Louis, Milwaukee. Pitches duel early.
Okay. Jorge?
Pass.
Steven?
I was on the under as well, but I had a full game. But that first 5 might even be better. And if I had to pick an aside, I still like Peralta better. I know Palante's been doing been pitching well as of late, but I like Peralta better, and I like Milwaukee to bounce back after that freaking walk-off yesterday. It just pissed me off. So, yeah, I'll take Milwaukee, and I'll take the full game under, since that was my original play, although I'll probably play that first 5.
No, these starters obviously been pretty good, pretty hot here of late. Peralta, 0.53 ERA in his last 3 starts. I'm going to grab Palante, though. I'm going to take this price, maybe a little bit of spoiler action here for the Cards. It's Cardinals and the Brewers, so grab a cold one on Labor Day. Enjoy that one, guys. Next up, Rod, going to be the White Sox here. Whoa. It must be September, Rod. For Orioles Ford. I don't have the pitcher listed there, but we know it's Corbin Burns. Of course, it's Corbin Burns. That's why it's $4, I guess. Go ahead, Rod.
Definitely not one of them games I'm rushing to the window to be laying a bet on. But the way this Baltimore team's been playing, they win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Definitely not stringing wins together. First game back home off the road trip as well in Colorado, where they got 2 wins at least. Won the series versus the Rockies, but they had that before that. They lost that series to the Dodgers. I don't know. This is one of them games that Baltimore must have, and the way Chicago's been playing. Yeah, I would have to lay with Baltimore, but definitely not rushing to the window to bet this one at all.
Slow burn, Jorge, for the O's right now. They got to take advantage of situations like this, and they haven't been.
I just got a slight lean. The dog jumped up in my lap during the game, so I'm going to take a slight lean to the underdog.
Steven?
Yeah, well, didn't they play in the evening yesterday at Coors too? And then they're going to come play an afternoon game here? Like, if the Sox are, if Flexen's going to get off the schneid, this is probably the spot. You know, I'd say White Sox first 5, just drop just a nibble for the heck of it, because of the spot. I don't want to. I mean, the White Sox suck. We know that. But if there was a spot, you got Burns not pitching very well the last little while. You know, they played at Coors. They're coming out of that altitude and going into this game. It just all sets up for even possibly a crappy team like the White Sox could do something here. If they can't do it here, then they can't do it anywhere, which wouldn't be surprising to me either. So they're just that bad. So I would lean White Sox first 5. I haven't hit White Sox all year. This would be the only time I've ever bet all White Sox at all year long. But this could be the one.
And this could be the month, I guess, if we're ever going to start to maybe, I don't want to say it. I'm not going to even, I'm not even going to suggest it here. So you guys
stay away, as Maurice Walker says. Run away.
All right. I'll grab the over then. Maybe we'll have
definitely not running to the window on that.
Look, the thing with everyone knows, I didn't necessarily lead into it, but Flexen is now 19 straight games that he's lost with the White Sox here. But, well, it's September. Maybe it'll happen. I'll take the over. Maybe there'll be some high volatility in this one. Thanks, chat. Here I'm figuring out how to at least get our chat in there. We got to get your comments in there. You guys are, to me, just as important as these gentlemen here joining me. All right. Dodgers and Flaherty, Diamondbacks and Eduardo Rodriguez here in this one, guys. And, it's been a pretty wild series here with these two. But Flaherty here on the road, Dodgers favorite, $1.40, 8.5 over 15, Rod.
Yeah, for me, look at this one. I'm going to go right back. I'm going to go to the Dodgers to bounce back here in this one. Flaherty on the road, where he pitches his best ball, 6-2 with a sub-3 ERA. His last three, 3-0 with a 2.62 ERA. So Flaherty's definitely been pitching well. Going against this Arizona team and Edward Rodriguez, he just keeps pitching solid, but I think he's been getting lucky in some of those. He gave up 5 hits last time out, gave 5 runs, 1 home run, 89 pitches over 5 innings of work. I think this is one of those games that the Dodgers just get back and get themselves a win to salvage something out of this series. So give me the Dodgers in this one.
All right. Jorge Eduardo, kind of a blessing for the Diamondbacks. They're going to get anything going to get a guy like this back. For a couple games there, Eduardo's been back.
Man, if you look at this series over the year, these are baseball scores. These are softball scores. I mean, they put up 50 runs over 3 games. And what was kind of ironic yesterday, and I'm a diehard Dodger fan, can't stand Roberts, but I do like what he did yesterday. They were down 8-0, I think, in the 3rd inning, and he pulled the starters. And that is a good psychological move. If you're coming out, you're not going to play hard, sit down. And when you do that to a couple millionaire players, especially in a mental game like baseball, I think sometimes that works out. I think it's going to continue to be a high-scoring game, and I agree with Rod. I think it's a bounce-back situation, but I would pound the offense on the Dodgers in this scenario. First 5 innings, team total, and even for the game. And being the Dodgers bullpen is actually pitching extremely well. I'm not a fan of, ring around the rosy, just throw whatever reliever, ends up on the situation for the hold or the save. But I think these guys are going to continue to score a lot. And again, I'm with Rod being a bounce back and some more runs in this game as well.
All right, Stephen, I'm not even going to give Jorge the chance. I'm not going to throw it back to him and just bang on these Dodger fans. They're such perfectionists. Roberts is fine, but I know there's some flaws there. Maybe paying attention too much to those metrics a little bit, and you don't do that necessarily in Dodger land. I don't know, but I guess they're only satisfied with the championship. I'm winking at you, Jorge. Stephen, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going with Flaherty on this one. I've liked how he's been since he got to LA. And the Dodgers got embarrassed yesterday. They're gonna come back and roll here. I agree with everything that's said so far. I would probably I like the Dodgers first 5 on the run line, and I don't know how you don't take the over with this series right now. It's freaking, is it 8.5 I'm getting here? Really? I gotta take the over. I'm taking the over, and I'll take the Dodgers run line first 5.
Yeah, some books have 9 under 20. You can do your shopping. You can get 8.5 over 15 at a couple of Square books online. So I don't know. I'm going to grab the over. I'm going to put it at 9 under 20 at least there. That way I have the toughest line to go against. But I'm going to go over as my play with what we've seen. Thomas says, look at this from Team Steam consensus there in the chat. It's going to be a consensus play with the Dodgers today on the road here.
Little bonus. I like the Edward Rodriguez under 17.5 outs. I don't think he records 18 outs. I don't think he goes 6 solid innings in this one here today. No. Not the way the bats have been going for both these teams. And Edward Rodriguez, well, his last 4, he has not got over 17.5. That's been under. So take the under 17.5 for Eduardo in this one.
And Arby here. Arby's a first-time commenter in the chat, guys, and I think it's a little unfair because, I don't know, roast beef in the morning. Anyways, he says the Dodgers are a lock today, and I don't want any blowback from my new crew here. I allow people to give out locks. They aren't locks. We know there's no locks. I'm down. I'm not that guy. Lock just means I really like the Dodgers today, says Arby. So no problem. Arby's bringing us the locks. Thank you, Trey, with the over here as well. And Tremaine, he's always day specific. I don't know. Me and the Dodgers don't have a lot in common. I don't know if I'm going to be ever 6-0 on the road on a Monday. So hats off to the Dodgers here. I'll take the over as my play. Thanks, everybody, for your plays in the chat. Big baller.
Dodgers are 10-0 in their last 10 on Monday. He's just got the 1-6 on the road. Well, they're 10-0 on Mondays. The last 10 Mondays have been the Dodgers. To extend that little stat there for you.
Oh, man. Patrick and
Monday.
Why is that? I mean, I could barely now I don't do anything but do these shows and watch sports, and I wasn't ready to go here on a Monday, so hats off to them. All right, I'll take the over as my play. Hello to Patrick in Ottawa as well. Jermaine's on that 17.5 outs and over. Thanks, guys. All right. And next up, Guardians on the road. Gavin Williams going up against Michael Wacha here. I'm showing currently this one's got some pick'ems all over. It feels like it is a pick'em, but a few books are just starting to shade to the Guardians here. A couple books are just shaded to the Royals. I think it's safe to say close to a pick'em here. Rod, total 8 under 20.
Yeah, and you look at this one. These two just faced off not too long ago in a 3-game set, and actually there was a 4-game set because they played that double hitter in there. So, and the Royals won 3 of those 4 games. The last one being a Michael Wacha start where he did get touched up a little bit by these Guardians. So he's looking for a bounce back. But for me in this one, you look at Gavin Williams, not good. 1-4 with a 6.5 ERA over his last few. I give it to him. He goes about 5 innings at best, 4 or 5 innings. Throws about 80, 90 pitches. Usually good for giving up a home run, but his issue is the walks. His last 3 starts, he's given up 8 walks. And that's a big issue here against the Royals team, who is smashing. They love to hit at home. And when you look at their 273, they're hitting at home versus right-handed pitching. I got to go with the Royals here, who are 14-1 at home in their last 15 versus the AL Central. Give me the Royals in this one.
Jorge, this key wraparound series here. Another big game today for these two.
Yeah, kind of hard to figure out what's going on with the Royals, right? Before their 5-game losing streak, they're tied for first place. You think, all right, here they come down the stretch, and, they just go right in the tank. All that being said, I'm with Rod on this one. Minus 110 with Wacha on the mound, and you need a win. I don't know and all broad stuff was great, but it being an important game in interdivision or, against the Central Division, like you said, definitely leaning towards the Royals in this one.
Steven?
I would like to go to the Royals here, but like I said, it's they've been hit or miss. Well, even in good spots, it's been a weird team to be able to they lose in good spots. It feels like to me like more than any team besides really bad teams, but anybody that's any competitive team in the MLB. So I do lean the Royals, but honestly, I think Williams will give up enough here. And the way the Royals, one thing that hasn't been going bad for them is their bats. They should be able to hit up the Guardians. I think the Guardians will get Wacha. Will hit Wacha at least a little bit, and I could see this going up and over the total. That's a pretty low total for me with Williams on the mound. I'm going to look at the over 8 here.
It looks like the chat's on Kansas City here. I might have missed one already too. I'm sorry, Thomas, if maybe you guys caught some. I guess we had another consensus play. This is number 3 here. I'm taking the Royals. I'm with you a little bit here. I'll just fit the narrative. Williams 0-3 with a 6.75 ERA in his last 3 starts. Meanwhile, Wacha 5-0 with an ERA just over 3 in his last 8 starts. So I think I'm going to end up here on the favorite. Oh, okay. Thank you, Thomas. I'm juggling it here and enjoying this. Wow, these guys are making my dreams come true, so to speak. All right, I'll take the Royals in this one. Thanks, you guys here. Astros, and here's Justin Verlander on the mound going up against the Reds and Aguiar. Verlander 55 on the road, Rod, and we're seeing this one now. When I typed this in about an hour, 90 minutes ago, I was, getting my rest in from a big weekend, but now we're seeing 9.5 unders starting to pop up. I'm seeing some pressure to the over here, Rod.
Yeah, and with good reason, because Justin Verlander has not been good over his last few starts. He's given up 4, 8, 12, 14 runs on his last 4 starts. Definitely not the Justin Verlander we're used to, but he hasn't pitched a whole lot this season. So I can see why the overs starting to steam with good reason. But you look, Aguilar definitely been pitching solid. He did give up a few last time out. He went 4 innings. Gave up 6 to Oakland in 10 hits and give up 3 home runs in doing that. So does he give up a whole pile of home runs here? Definitely possible. I like the over 9.5. The way Verlander's been giving up 4 or 5. Aguilar can give up a few as well. And then we know that Reds bullpen has been looking taxed over their last few series. So give me the over 9.5 here in this one.
All right, Jorge, for the Astros and Verlander, yeah, they get him back late. Maybe he's not quite in form. You're still going to trust him, I would think, moving into the postseason. Maybe he just needs that work here this month to get things on track. But the Astros, they've clearly distanced themselves from the Mariners, solidifying their place in the postseason.
They really have. And, the total is really the only way to play on this one. During the summer months, I kind of will key on certain towns. Balls carry, in Cincinnati during the summer months. They just do. The wind's blowing from left to right, 10 miles an hour. And with some sloppy pitching there, definitely a lean towards the over on this one as well.
Steven?
Yeah, I like the over as well. And I'm going to this feels like a letdown spot for the Astros. They just had a tough series against the Royals. And not only that, they're 0-6 in their last 6 against the Reds. I like the Reds having a little bit of confidence after they had a walk-off, didn't they, yesterday against the Brewers? Yeah. So I feel like they have a little bit of confidence there. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play the 140, but I will take the over as well. But I'm not going to put much on it. Certainly won't be a premium, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, too. I'm gonna side with the Reds here. Maybe I'll add the handicap in this one with the run line. I just feel like maybe Verlander's got to work through these things a little bit. I feel bad. The chat Lando said, Verlander no longer him. Meaning that it might be time for JV. But man, he just needs to be ready for a few games. Really, yeah, we'd like to see him continue his career, whatever. I don't want to get into all that, but. I'm going to try the Reds here, maybe just a little bit. I've got a day game here on a holiday. I'm just going to think that maybe the Reds can steal one here. Let me go to the chat. Thank you for your plays there as well.
Reds have lost their last 8 day games after going extra innings. So just be cautious a little on the Reds.
Oh, geez, I didn't notice that.
Just a little trend.
I'm going to give it a shot.
Just a little trend. I'm going to pop on at you. So the Reds have lost each of their last 8 day games after going extra innings.
Well, the Astros
but trends are one of those things that are made to be broken, right? We know these trends. They don't last forever. It's like.
But if there's a sport that trends can make you money more than any of them, it's baseball.
It's baseball. Yep.
I've spent a lot of my time reading off trends since starting the morning steam, but a lot of people, trends are about nothing, right? Or just trying to fit the narrative. But for me in baseball, and you mentioned it, and I'm just pointing one out. I understand we got all these great trends, and I love them all. Believe me, especially if it fits an angle, fits a narrative, no problem. But I'm just saying Astros have won 5 straight. I'm going against them here. But to me in baseball, sometimes short-term trends are more important than some of those long-term. You just find a team that's in their best groove right now. So, all right, Chris on the over here. Thomas says break it down into holidays. So, that'd be worth some work. All right.
Hey guys, I'm going to bounce out here. Thank you so much for having me on. It was a great panel for all 4 guys, and I'm the rookie, so I'll let you guys have your time on the show. Thank you so much for having me on, man. It was a great session.
Jorge, you got a play up here right now as your best bet today, and what's going on today over at Tony's Picks?
I'll have some more plays up a little bit later, guys. I did put out this total earlier this morning. I love totals, unders, overs, just depending on that angle. So I'll definitely have something up for the football game as well.
It's nice
Jorge
meeting you. Jorge.
Good job, Steven. For all weekend, you've been on fire, brother. And Rod's on fire as well, man. Fun doing the show with you guys.
Thanks, Jorge.
Jorge Gonzalez here on the Morning Steam. All right. Appreciate him stopping by, and all of our handicappers, give them the opportunity to come in here on the Morning Steam, just kind of fitting the theme, I think, of what we're doing with the channels here, with panelists, and getting plenty of opinions for everyone to put their own spin on their card each day. All right. Appreciate it, Jorge. And guys, we'll keep on rolling here with the card. My Padres is going to be a $2 favorite here today, Rod, with Musgrove on the mound here for the Tigers. Definitely going to feels like some bullpen action again. Tigers have done a nice job here with juggling this pitching a little bit. They're going to end up probably falling well short of their goals, certainly here. Maybe out of some of these way outside contenders, they have the slightest of chances, but they'd need a big winning streak.
They really need a huge winning streak. They have an outside chance still if they keep winning and some teams keep losing. Are the Tigers. That bullpen has been lights out for the Tigers over the last 10.
Yes.
1.32. So give them that. That bullpen definitely has stepped up. And a big reason why they've actually been winning these few games. 8-2 in their last 10 games. Padres 6-4 in their last 10 games. They've hit that little bit of a slump on this road trip near the end here. The Rays won that last series. Split with St. Louis. Coming into this one, though, this is almost one of those who wants it more. Well, in this one, I don't want to lay $2 with Musgrove on the mound. And that Detroit bullpen, as I just stated, they've been solid, 1.32 ERA. So even this is being a bullpen game, too much value for me to pass up here. I'm going to take Detroit, the Tigers, in this one.
Steven?
Well, I thought I was going to be on an island here. I got Detroit as well for the exact same reason. I like the way they're playing. I like these kids are hungry, man. And you said, who wants it more? I see a lot of hunger in that Tigers team right now, and they're playing like they can take on the world. So I would definitely go with the Tigers as well. I probably lean to the under here as well for the very same reasons we were talking. Musgrove is I'm sure going to. He's been good enough that he could. The Tigers lineup isn't the greatest. They have been hitting better as of late. But much better as of late, actually. But I think Musgrove could hold them down. I think that bullpen can keep those Padres bats down. So I don't mind the under. I wish it was a little. At 8 is a little on the low side. I thought it'd at least get the hook on it. Is it 8.5 or is it 8? I'm seeing 8.
Yeah, I think right now, mostly at this point, 8 flats. It feels like 8 flat everywhere. I have a juice.
You can find an 8. If you can find 8.5, I would consider going under. But yeah, I like the Tigers as well. I didn't think Rod and I were going to agree on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to get that back. It feels like this is a trailing under a little bit, actually. Rod, were you going to say something there?
Yeah, I like the under. Padres. This is one of those spots that's just a system play that I have. That Padres off a road trip, take the first spot under the total for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe the Padres come tired after a road trip. You know what happens? You get back at home, you pack your stuff, you got to deal with the wife. If you got kids, you're dealing with kids, the dog, all sorts of stuff. So they're not as focused, and I've noticed that with the Padres. So I love the under first 5 in this one as well.
That's even bigger in hockey, the off the road play. Yeah.
Off the road, right? It is because they play these long road trips and teams, and you come back home, and sometimes you just lose your focus on the game, and it usually only one game, but you got to do that home stuff after a longer road trip. It happens. You're away from home for a week. We all know what it's like when you come back home from vacation for a week.
Yeah, when it's hockey too, it's very bros, like family on the road. Like they stress that. Coaches stress it. It's huge family play for each other because it's more physical, right? So play for each other.
Correct.
Then you come home and that energy just disbands as you go take care of it. And then you got to recreate it again for that game. And it's difficult that way. But anyways, got to throw some hockey in there, right?
Right? It's like Nashville. Remember Nashville last year when the coach was like, "Hey, you guys aren't playing good. No sphere for you guys. You are not getting to go to see the sphere." And they took that privilege away. What happened? Nashville went on a massive run after that. They were like, "What? Fine, we'll play good," and they played good. So
and they
sometimes you got to just get your team back in focus, and that's just the way it is.
Burnett,
especially on the road.
Good coach for sure.
Yeah.
All right, get back to baseball here.
No, I don't want. Look, everyone. My little secret here. I've kind of recruited these guys. Come on and handicap some baseball in just a few weeks. I'm just going to sit here and listen to these gentlemen here talk about the National Hockey League. It's my little secret to get me some winners as well. You guys are going to want to join us here on the morning.
Dressing early on hockey because they don't sign. This
is going to be my team right here. It feels like
I've got some future videos out already. Actually, I'm probably going to do one.
Right, go ahead and tell. Look, we're almost done with the show, Stephen. Can you mention those real quick? Because you've already done a series with several videos previewing the NHL. Please, I hate to get off track, but we've only got a few games. We're on a Monday. Great job on that.
I think I got 3 videos out right now. 2 of them are teams to make the playoffs. One of them is whether Utah will or not. Go check that one out. I got another goal prop for our over under for Ovechkin. You might want to check that one out. And I'll be doing more and more here. Probably today. I think I'll probably get 2 or 3 out today.
I'm a conspiracy theorist guy. I think Ovechkin does it this year. I think he comes out hot. If you look at that number, he's pretty close on pace to keep up with Gretzky. So he's got a chance to bust that goal scoring record within the same time frame as what Gretzky did it. So I think he does it either right on that same day. I'm going to be conspiracy theorist right on that same day. It's actually one game before they play the Oilers in that game. And then if you look the next game, it's almost that game it's the one game past, and I believe it's the Ducks would be the exact date that he would be playing the exact same games as Gretzky and maybe almost the exact same number of games played to get to the goals. I looked at that and I kind of seen one like, look at this. I think he does it this year.
Well, the way if you do it, you got to check it out, the my Ovechkin prop, and you should bet it. No doubt about it. Go check it out.
I think I need to make a play on this game here before we move on to the next one, and I'll just look. What's the saying? I'll do a play. No homer. I'll take the Padres on the run line in this one. All right. Next up.
You are a homer, though. We know that.
I am on that one.
You are a Padres homer.
Yeah. I'm first to go against him, too, for sure. But, Tigers, I understand. But, with this coming in here, Tigers certainly on, still with a bullpen game here. But still, man, they've won 15 of their last 20. But Musgrove, the man knows when to come back. He's gone under in 6 straight. You guys are talking about that total. All right. Let's keep it moving here. Twins and the Rays with Simeon Woods, Richardson on the mound against Littell, and Littell's done a nice job. He's keeping it keeping the family strong pitching tradition up. Yeah, maybe here I've got it listed as a pick'em, and boy, I think it is. I'll call it just pick'em, and maybe it's shaded under -115. Yeah, pick'em -115. Rod.
Yeah, and you look at this. These teams faced once in a series back in June, and this same matchup produced a 7-6 win for the Rays in this one. So for me, I kind of like the over here. I think both offenses can definitely get to the other starting pitcher. You look, Woods Richardson, his last time out, he only went 4.2 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. Issues with the walks over his last 3 starts. He's given up 2 walks, 3 walks. And when he does that, he usually gets himself in trouble and gives up some runs. And that's what he's been doing. He's also got hit for a home run in 4 straight games. So he's definitely been giving up some runs. He's starting to looking like he's getting a little bit gassed. And the other side of the bump, Little, he goes about 5 innings, and he's been solid over his last 4. So I would lead to Tampa Bay, but I like the over as the play here. I think runs come early and often. between these two teams.
Twins struggling here, not good timing here, Stephen, having lost 9 of their last 13 coming in.
Yeah, I'm just on the Rays here. Woods Richardson he's fading. I think Little's good enough, and I bet the Rays at home most of the time, a lot of the time. Like if I find the good spots, and I think this is a good spot for them to put Minnesota one more notch down. So I'm taking Tampa Bay. I think they should be more of a favorite here, actually, to tell you the honest truth. So I like the price. I like everything about it. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Okay, I'll buck Rod a little bit here. I'm going to try the under in this one with Littell got an ERA of 2 in his last 4 starts. He's gone under in 5 of his last 6. And Woods Richardson definitely not quite what he has been on some of his good grooves this year, but I'm going to try him here. Twins have gone under in 6 of the last 8. All right, next up. The Mariners are going to take on the Vegramento A's. I'll just say it for our friend Vegramento Athletics in the chat. Still going to have the Mariners here, a road favorite. A's have been so fun, so great, and we should find some type of award to give these guys for the comeback. Look, there's still 20 games under 500, whatever. It's been a cool month here for the A's, no doubt, but going to be an underdog. Rod Gilbert here down to $1.35 or even lower at some point. So more Sharpies like in the A's again. Mariners got to win though.
And for me, you look at this one, and the A's have been hitting the ball and definitely been right there in all their ball games, surprisingly, because I know at the start of the year, everybody was they were going to be dead last. They were going to be the White Sox, is what people were predicting Oakland to be, that they were going to be worse than the White Sox. But here in this one, I think that's a tough spot. That line steam move of the Mariners coming down doesn't scare me. You look at Oakland, what have they done in their last 2 games? Well, they got walked off by Texas. And now you got to travel up here to Seattle. It's a tough spot, especially going against a Seattle team that's in a thick battle and trying to make the playoffs themselves. And we know Oakland's not trying to make the playoffs. And then you look at this one. Each of the Athletics' last 7 home games against an American League opponent has gone under the total. So I like an under here. We know Seattle, their bats could definitely go quiet at times. And Oakland, after what we've seen in Texas, getting walked off late in those games. I like the under here. Everybody's thinking we're going to see a higher scoring one. I don't think so. Give me the under.
Steven?
Yeah, I like the under as well. And Mariners own the A's at home when they're playing them at home. They're like 9-1 in the last 10 games. Now, you could say in that trend, maybe there's a lot of A's teams that weren't playing as well as the A's have been after the break. But I think it's starting. The shine's starting to come off of that, and the Mariners have been playing really well. Gilbert, the only hesitation I have taking the Mariners here is Gilbert on the road isn't as good, and that's why I'm a little concerned about the under. Either this game might just be a complete pass for me, but I'm going to lean to the Mariners. I know that there's a trend on the under, but Gilbert on the road scares me right now. And but Beto doesn't. Maybe you're right. Maybe there is an under here. There is an under here. But yeah, I think I'm going to pass.
Okay, well, I'll just solidify. I'll take the under here. Beto, 1.17 ERA in his last 4 starts. Gilbert, a little bit of a mess. You're right. A little bit of a mess from what we've seen when he had some modest success this season. Eberg, it's Oakland is at home in this one. So Vegramento likes Oakland here. Let's see. There was one other comment I needed clarification. Carla, we got Rod here. We might cover those. We might talk a little CFL, Carla Football League at the end of the show with Rod. I know
it's Labor Day. It's the Labor Day Classic.
Holiday. I mean, this is one of the biggest CFL days of the season today. Really, this is like the feature. This is it for the regular season.
Huge
holiday. This is it. The 2 games. You never get 2 games hardly these days. So It's going to be pretty cool today. All right.
Mariners, just another trend I'm going to pop out there. The Mariners have won each of their last 10 Monday games versus teams with losing records. Mariners love to beat up on the bad teams, and Oakland's in a bad spot.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, these Monday teams.
Monday.
Oh, that's a little more cheery. I was thinking of the Boomtown Rats. We don't want that one. All right, a couple more. These guys are going to be gone. Man, hope we get 4 guys every day. All right, here we go with the Red Sox. Hey, it wouldn't be the morning steam without some steam. So I've got to pass it along. Just while with these guys were just starting the breakdown, the under is getting hit right now. If you look at the lines. The line screen right now, mostly 7.5 overs right now here in this one. We've just seen this game starting to take some steam here, Rod, to the under. You got Bello going for the Red Sox and Severino for the Yankees. Both these guys have been pretty strong here. It feels like, they have been pretty strong here of late.
Yeah, both sides have been strong pitching-wise, especially Bello. Bello got hit a little bit last time, though.
Yeah.
But you look, 7 of the Mets' last 8 games as favorites have gone under that total. Severino's been solid for the Mets. And Bello, I expect a bounce-back start from him. So I do lean to the under, but for me in this spot, I think you got to go here with the Mets. Mets, sure, don't think they just beat up on the White Sox. Got the wins that they definitely needed. But coming into this one, the Red Sox have lost their last 6 games against National League opponents that held a winning record. So they don't fare so well against these good teams. So give me the Mets in this spot.
Steven?
Yeah, the Mets are hot right now. But Boston, they've kind of owned the Mets historically. And Bello, they win with Bello. Like they just, even when he wasn't pitching well, they were winning with him. So I think I'll just stay off the side, go on the under. I like the under in this game. They're both pitching well. I'll just stick with the under. If I had to pick one, I'd be on the opposite end of Rod, which doesn't happen very often. I would probably be on Boston just because they win. They just win with Bello. I've been burnt this year several times. When he wasn't pitching well, I was like, he's not pitching well. I'm sure as heck he didn't pitch well, but they still freaking won. You just can't deny it. So that would be my play. But this should be a good. I like the under probably better than either side. So
I'm with you. Under's my play, so let's team up together in this one. Yeah, we're not getting the best price anymore, I think, here. So I'll kind of move it into the free pick category here on the show. Vegramento says. Bello looking good last time out. Yeah, last 4 starts, 2.5 ERA. Boston 9-2 last 11 starts with Bello on the mound, even though they are slumping here. No doubt they've lost 8 of their last 11. Severino 2.4 ERA in his last 3 starts, and the Mets clicking here at 12 wins in their last 18 games. Also, Mets have won 9 of their last 10 home series openers here. I'm going to take the under, though, with Steven in this one. Okay, guys.
Before you go on, I just realized something. You can get a 4.5 first 5 here. Under 4.5 first 5 at which one am I on there? Bet online. So I'm gonna. That's my pick.
And if I can just clarify, earlier we were cooking on the show, and I'm kind of I should follow up with some of the chat. They'd asked Rod. He had a game where he talked about a total first 5. Rod, if you remember, Rod, you could correct me, but I just want to mention. Someone said, "Well, what is it, Rod? Is it under?" I believe it was a game where it was a 4.5 or 4 over 25, or maybe it could have been 4.5 under 25. Nonetheless, with many handicappers, when they give out, say, an under in a first 5, it's still going to be kind of the same. I mean, there may be a nickel difference here and there, but the recommendation is still, for the most part, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Rod, but if all you can get is a 4, the play is still going to be there. And now, you could get 4 plus 05 or something. But if you feel more comfortable and do your shopping and take that 4.5, that maybe you like it 4.5 at minus $1.25 or something, the play, the intonation is to the under or to the over, whatever the handicapper chooses. So I don't want to, talk down to anybody about that, but the recommendation is what it is.
See, I look at it when you get the 4.5 right, and it comes down to 4. It's just that 4 just means it brings the push into play. That's all I look at.
Sure.
When you get the 4.5, it's when you get that half, when you get the 0.5, then you don't have to worry about the push. Most times but when you're going on a bet, you're not worrying about the push. I'd even look at the extended under 3.5.
Right. Kind of just say.
And I'm sure it was the Padres game that I gave out the under.
Was that what it was?
4.5 on the Padres, because it's after a road trip. Padres just seem this is the spot that I've been betting it for years, and guess what? It's been profitable over years. That the Padres off of a road trip first came back at home, take the under first 5. I think I had hit it like there was a time over the last couple seasons where it had hit like 20 something straight. It was nuts. So I'm going to continue to ride it.
Okay, hopefully I was clear on that, and thank you everybody for that. Okay, well, let me see here. Next up, I've got the Bucks on the road here with Jones going up against the Cubs and Tyone. About $1.45 here. Maybe a move to the Pirates now. I'm showing most of the books at least. Maybe there's a little bit of $1.50 at the square books, but the sharp books are down here at almost $1.40 at this point. So Tyone's he's been a little bit rough here of late, but still they're going to be favored to win this game right now over the Bucks.
Of course, because you look at this one, and these two teams just faced off in a big series not too long ago, and Jared Jones did get a start in that one. He only went 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, gave up 3 walks and 2 home runs. That was his first start back, so I'm going to give him a pass on that one for his first start back. And Tyone, every time I see Tyone on the mound, Tyone, run the other way. I'm going to just blindly take the Pirates here. I think Jared Jones has a solid start here in this one after his first start back. He didn't look so good, but as I said, I like stars on their third start. So this isn't. I'm going to sprinkle a little, but on his next start, I'm going to definitely jump on Jared Jones. He's going to be a solid, bright pitcher in the future for this Pirates team. He's on a team with Skeens, and so Skeens has got all the talk. And then Jared Jones has been injured a little bit, but he's a solid pitcher. Give me the Pirates in this one.
Steven?
Well, I'm with you. I'm not laying minus 144 with Talon on the freaking mound. Not a chance. I would lean Pittsburgh as well. The Pirates with bats have been not too bad. The Cubs have been hitting like crazy. I don't think Jones is going to shut down Cubs the way they're hitting right now. So I would also go take a look at the over here. It's a 7.5. Yeah, I like the over. I think Pittsburgh, anybody can hit Talon. So I'll go over 7.5, and I lean the Pirates as well. I'm not paying that much for the Cubs. So.
Okay, well, even I'm a little bit convinced here with the Cubs at this point, so I'll go against you a little bit, Rod, with the Cubs and these. Yeah, I mean, Tyone, I can't defend him certainly here, but if everyone's kind of talking up the over, kind of leaning that way too, but maybe there'll be some volatility here, and that can give me a little bit of an advantage. Not an advantage, I would say, not as a favorite here. At least they're, a little bit of discount in the price. So I'll try the Cubs here. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They need these right now, no doubt. The Cubs here, they're in the same boat as those other the Tigers over the American League. The Tigers, the Mariners are barely hanging on by a thread, but I'll try them here with Tyone. Thanks, you guys, for the picks in the chat. And I guess one last game with my new crew here with Garrett Cole on the mound and the Yankees. Big $2 favorite here. I say $2. I better correct that. A little bit of action here on the Rangers. Lighters look good. I'd say mostly it's down to 175. And heavy pressure to the over here. I'm starting to see now those juiced 8.5s are kind of turning into 9 under for the most part. We are seeing this one move to the over here. So the move is Rangers and over, and Garrett Cole facing the Rangers. How about that?
Right,
Sorry.
and you look at this price, and it's looks a little light, doesn't it? Why is Garrett Cole only a minus 180? But then you look, and Burns is a minus 400. Something doesn't seem right to me here in this spot.
More of those runs.
So you look at this one, and right, exactly. So why isn't Cole the way he's been pitching lately? He's definitely picked it up his last few starts. Where he hasn't. He's been Mr. Solid. Hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs in his last 5. And if you want to go even back farther, 7 of his last 8 have been less than 3 earned runs. And he's only a minus 180. Something seems fishy there to me. Give me Texas blindly. A tough spot here for the Yankees. After getting worked by the Cards the last 2 games at home. And now you have to travel down to Texas. And Texas with 2 walk-off wins against Oakland. Give me Texas here. I think they got a little bit of momentum. They slept in their own bed last night. And the Yankees got to come in here. We know the Yankees bats can definitely cool off. We've seen them at times this season. And everybody's going to be humping up on the Yankees in this one. Give me Texas.
Texas officially in the spoiler role, Stephen. They're not hanging by a thread. They are got their last tiny fingernail falling off the cliff. So it's spoiler time for the Rangers.
Yeah. Who's the pitcher for? Oh, it's Leiter. Okay. Yeah, I don't.
Not like Mark Leiter, not Al Leiter, but Zach Leiter.
I don't agree with. I mean, I agree with. It's just a bad spot. I agree with that. It's the Yankees should be angry, but they should be tired too. I think it's a very emotional series, and now the Rangers coming in. They can. This is one of those games. This happens in hockey all the time too. This is one of those games when you've had a bad season, and this is the reason why like the Toronto Maple Leafs lose a lot of games against teams that are like, how could they lose against them? And this kind of gives me that too. Rangers have had a terrible season. The Yankees are coming in now. Everybody wants to beat the Yankees. That's one of the big things. They are the greatest franchise and in MLB, and you get to kind of feel good about yourself if you're the Rangers right here. If you can take the Yankees at home, you can get your fans on your side. Just makes you feel like you had something in the season, and this feels like that game to me. That the Texas is like, okay, we're beating the Yankees. We're gonna give something for us to feel good about this year, because I don't think they're feeling good right now. But this is an opportunity for them to give themselves a little feel good and be able to say, hey, at least we took the Yankees. So I like the Rangers here for sure. It's going to be tough though with Cole on the mound, and so we'll see. But I don't think it's going to be a premium, but I do like it.
And it was Alyssa in the chat. I want to shout out Alyssa actually for that question. She was the one asking Rod about the just not discrepancy. You had just said, the total in the pod, the first 5 total, and I just want to make it clear that Rod. It's like I said, if I give out an over in some random game, I like it over 7, I like it over 8, I like it over 9, and all the variables too if I'm giving out a play. And you just got to find your best price. If you agree with it, that's all I meant by that. And great contributions from Alyssa. I don't have I don't have Alyssa in there too often, so thank you. Big Baller also talking about Cole here. Yankees got to have that bullpen going if they're going to make some damage in the postseason. It feels like I don't know. It just feels like whenever they are able to strike for some runs, that's when the bullpen kind of falls apart, and vice versa with this team a little bit. They can't get it all. They're having a great year. They're there. They're the Yankees. And number 52. We know the milestones there. And with Yankee pinstripes, everyone's building up to the Judge records almost here. It feels like, all right, I'm going to go here. If it's 9, which it is now in a lot of places. I'm going under in this one now. You talk about Cole here, 1.61 ERA in his last 4 starts coming into this one. And I like Leiter here a little bit, maybe moving forward. We'll see how he does. Called him Zach. He's Jack Leiter, but there's just too many Leiters in my life. Leiter's my life. And I'll get it straight. But, I remember old Al Leiter and Mark Leiter and all the Leiters. So, this guy's got some pedigree in him here as well. I'll take the under. That's not my handicap, but just to make a story out of it, Rangers under in 11 of their last 16. Yankees have gone under in 6 straight on the road. Cole under in 6 of his last 8 games. Thank you to the chat, and thank you to everyone for your comments here. And I'm going to talk a little CFL with Rod here, but I don't know if I want to if Steven, he kind of, he's in Canada, but he's not a huge fan. He watches, but Steven, I'm going to give you a chance. So certainly
I'll stick around and listen to you guys with the CFL. I'm not going to be making bets on it, but this is fun. I'm enjoying it, so I'll stick around.
I know. I'm almost going to start make you guys talk some random sports. Just try. Fortunately, these guys have committed to me a little bit to keep coming back, so I won't drag out the show just because I'm having such a good time with it. All my dreams are coming true here at Tony's Picks and the network with these guys. Hope I'm not schmoozing up to them too much. I just need them to come back every day. And look, the show. You've seen some changes along the network here with the panelists, right? I think that's the direction we've been heading, and we're giving everybody, all of our cappers, if any of the crews watching in the chat, we know we've seen several of them from Ron Hahn, Ron Crawford, Solo Malone, doubles and the like. You guys are welcome to join the panel. You've seen here on Tony's Picks YouTube channel and over on the Pick Dogs channel, the talking heads, the multi-boxes. Maybe we'll go
exactly.
Yeah,
more than we're happy to have you. Come on, bring them on. Come on in and talk the sports. We're more than happy to have you come on in and join us on this morning, Steve.
This is almost a short show, and we had 3 breakdowns from the guys from every game. So really appreciate everyone and appreciate you guys in the chat as well. Okay. Well, Rod, I feel bad. I didn't make any graphics. One thing, we don't sell the product of the CFL here, but I do always remember, Rod, how many times this year already. I feel like we did it last year a little bit too. Last season, you were watching a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. But whenever I've had the games come up, I'd say, Rod, I didn't look at it. Just give me a pick in the chat. So how about it, Rod? The Argos today, a 5-point favorite on the road here against the Ticats today. The total 52.5.
Yeah, and you look at this one here. This is we've seen this game earlier this season where Hamilton got the win 27-24. So this is a revenge spot for this Toronto team coming into Hamilton. They're looking for a win because they had their win streak snapped. They had won 6 straight versus Hamilton. This Hamilton team is awful. They're not good. They're defensive wise, giving up 32 points a game. And this Argos team, third in the league at offensively scoring 27, 28 points a game. And I think they have no issue here in this one. What we're going to see a lot of in this one is the Argos running the ball. The Argos number 1 in the CFL at rushing the ball. And they get the most yards per game too, averaging 117 yards per game on the rush. They attempt the most rushes in the game. 22 rushes per game is what they average, and they average 5.3 yards per rush. And that's huge because this Hamilton defense, they stink at defending the run. 7th in the CFL, giving up well over 100 yards a game, giving up 6th over 20-something rushing yards, and giving up 5.3 yards per rush. What Hamilton does defensively is they defend the pass real well. Definitely a solid team at defending the pass, and Toronto doesn't pass the ball. They're definitely a run-heavy offense, and that doesn't spell anything good for Hamilton. But Hamilton, offensively, we know Bo Levi Mitchell's back there, and he was going to be airing that ball out. and that's where the weakness is on Toronto. So I kind of like the over here, but I like the revenge angle here at the Argos lay the 4.5, 5 now in spots. I think the Argos win by a touchdown late, and we get an over. Just like we've seen, it was 27-24. I expect the Argos to score a little more as well. So take the over and the Argos in that one.
Okay, Rod. Yeah, I thought you were just gonna go Argos, and I was gonna clean it up and say I'll take the over. But if you're going both Argos and over, I like it too. I think, if they do fall behind, Bo Levi will be airing it out. Certainly, he's got great targets, guys like Bridges and Smith here, but Kadeem Carey about as good as it gets right now in the league. And yeah, you ranked them as 7th statistically. I don't know, they might even be worse than that against the run. They might be right down there at the bottom. The Ticats defensively here against the run, and we know if you make fun of it a little bit with our CFL, you get one shot basically at a run. But all you got to do is get that. Remember, in the CFL, that 1 yard of space is so big, man. If you get chunks of 5 like Kadeem Carey can give you and eat that ball a little bit, that's what's making Toronto here 6-4, right? I think at this point, I'm gonna go over here for sure in this one. Ticats cannot run the ball.
Yeah.
That's
Zero rushing whatsoever. They are not good at running the ball.
After everything. Sorry to go over. After everything you just said, you're only laying 5 in here. I guess I better start betting CFL. That's like this sounds like a blowout.
I mean, they're kind of right. I don't know. I think if anything, Rod, I think Bo Levi still got that gunslinger. Like we could always get the back door with him a little bit here. I don't mind some. I like the over. We've seen some. I don't know. I think that's what Hamilton kind of needs is to make that defense just a little bit more solid here. But I like what I've seen out of the running game. I'm making fun of the Hamilton running game, but Bell, since he's come in, has done a pretty nice job. He had that a big game against Edmonton that they got blown out. A lot of it was junk duty, but I like what I think Bell is going to be fine. Here, every time he's been in there so far, the 2 games. I think he had 1 game earlier. I'm looking at I didn't even realize he played that first game against Ottawa because he had missed 5 straight games there. But in that game against Edmonton, 12 carries for 85 and 6 receptions for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns for Greg Bell. So still, I'll take the over. Rod's on the Argos. All right, and let me see here. We got. One more, of course, Rod. And I'll making my graphics on the fly. If I would have known Carla was here, I would have had graphics ready because it is the Carla Football League over here, Rod. She is so kind to ask about the CFL, even if it's something we're not covering here on the website. I'm an old school CFL fan, Rod, because back in the days of ESPN when they needed sports. They were showing CFL games, so I go way back with the can I say it on the show? The Eskimos.
Soon, because I think it might come back. I think we might see the return.
I heard you say that. But I don't. So. You know what? Actually, though, all kidding aside, if they had to choose a name, I don't mind the Elks. It left the old famous logo intact a little bit as well. So okay, the Stamps here though, Rod. 2-point favorite. If anything, the move has been to the Elks here between these two. Calgary's desperate. Edmonton's probably not going to get it going here at this point, but they are taking a little bit of action here, and the total has moved up from about 50.
Well, of course, everybody, we've seen what the Elks have done. They've covered the number in their last 4 games and played some pretty good football. Looked real good against Montreal as well. But I think they might go back to Trey Ford to get the start for the Elks here in this one, and he hasn't played in a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what's happened. It's been Bethel Thompson the last 3. And,
he was great against Hamilton, but then he didn't look as good against Montreal.
Yeah, exactly. Tough against Montreal. He's still throwing about 60% is Bethel Thompson, but I think we see Ford in this one. But the difference for me here in this one is you look at the offense. The Elks definitely scoring points, but the problem is here you're going against a Calgary team at home. And on Labor Day, it's just one of those tough spots against a Calgary team that can throw the ball. Look, they second in the CFL at completion, second at completion percentage, hitting 71% of their passes are this Calgary team. They play their best football at home. Both these teams off of a bye. And you look, the Elks defensively, they can definitely be had when someone's passing the ball against them. They give up 67% completions. They give up 13.8 yards per catch, which is dead last in the CFL. Ninth, dead last in the CFL at yards per catch. Not good there. Where I do give it the Elks the edge is running the ball. So they're definitely averaging about 110 yards a rush per game. Well, Calgary's defense, ninth in the CFL, giving up 108 yards a rush. But I think they can air this out. So I like an over in this one, but I like the Stampeders. You look at the Elks off of a bye week. They just don't fare so well. 1-6 ATS their last 7 following a bye week. And the Elks 1-4 ATS the last 5 versus Calgary. The over 7-2 the last 9. I like a high-scoring one here on Monday, but over the years of me watching this battle on Labor Day, it's usually Calgary that comes home happy here on Monday, and then Elks get the next bounce-back game on Friday. So give me Calgary and the over in this one.
Oh, Rod, that sounds great. I don't know if we're going to get any better breakdowns of the CFL on any of these shows today. You're right about the Elks, but they've had, with Leak and Brown, they've both been in and out of the lineup here of late. If they could just get both these guys in there, they can both be productive. But man, you're right. This Edmonton defense with Calgary Mayer, he's almost 3 bills a game on a lot of these games here of late, and with the way he spreads it around with Beggleton and the group. Michael as well, Mark and Michael. Let's see, what do you have? Oh man, that Toronto game was a few games ago, but still, Edmonton, they rank last in a lot of categories, pass defense wise, and Calgary not as great either. And with guys like Lewis and Mitchell and Gittins, I'm going over with you, Rod. I think the move is right here in this one, and I'll take the over with Rod for my CFL picks. The Carla Football League is what I call it here because she's always prodding me to make sure we get a few picks out there, and I feel better with Rod here solidifying the picks with me a little bit. I'm just an old CFL fan of the days of Warren Moon and Doug Flutie, and of course my favorite player, Rod, in all of my years watching CFL, Damon Allen, the former Lincoln High star from San Diego, maybe one of the best quarterbacks. He is one of the best quarterbacks in league history.
Maybe may have to give Damon a shout out, and maybe we can get him on the show one of these times, because definitely me and him are friends on Twitter. Had a few conversations with Damon over the years, so definitely check him out and see. We follow each other on Twitter. I talked to him at the start of the season, and about week 2, he came up to Edmonton for their big 75th anniversary celebration dinner, and Damon came up for that. He asked if I was going to be there, and I said I just couldn't make it for the 75th celebration dinner. Just couldn't make it.
Don't be making promises you can't keep.
That's what I said. I didn't. I just said he was like, "Are you coming?" I was like, "I can't make it. I would love to make it, but I just couldn't make it." Definitely, David Allen.
Hey, maybe we'll do a Grey Cup show, and we'll have Damon Allen here. I'll put some pressure on Rod to get it done. All right, and it's gonna be
definitely possible.
Fun postseason here coming. We got several weeks to go, I know, before we hit the playoffs. And you know what? I mean, the way things are kind of balancing out, we might be in for some excitement come the postseason here, it feels like to me. So thanks, you guys, for a great show. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Steven, what do you got today over at Tony'sPicks.com? Limited schedule, but you're firing.
I just put a 3-pack in there. I'll have more later on today as well. And I'll probably have a best bet as well. So you watch me throughout the day. I have a tendency to put out a couple packages out there. And of course, like I've said many times, we have you get a full season of hockey for $250. You heard Rod and I talking hockey. We are diehard hockey fans. And I do this for the people that have been following me for a long time, but you can grab it too. It's not like it's just for them. But the guys that support me for a long time, I give them basically like dirt cheap, $250 just for the whole season. Mostly because I do this to have fun, and I like to have as many people involved as possible. I like talking hockey, so people that do take my packages, or I give them my Twitter, and we banter on all day, all the time. So that's what I like. Yeah, I love talk. I can talk hockey all day, all night. So sports in general.
Too.
Yeah,
but I must answer Mo Harris in the chat. I must answer Mo Harris, and definitely not. I have definitely not had a full body wax, Mo. Definitely not going to jump into that one either. No chance. No chance.
I don't know.
No chance.
I wouldn't.
That does not sound fun.
Thank you to Mo. I haven't seen Mo in a few weeks, maybe a month or two.
You see how much hair I've got? You see how much hair I got? No chance. I may have no hair out here, but there's other places that I am not getting a full body wax.
If that were ever to happen, I would have had to lose like a bet that I was a million times sure that I was going to win. It's the only way that would ever happen. Not a chance.
Only way. Yeah, exactly. You lost one of those bets. Right? Imagine one of those bets that you're like, not
yeah.
Rod, I better send it over you to tout your wares today before they Tony and Mitch tell me I let the show get out of control at the end.
And for me today, it's Monday Money Triple. So head on over, scoop that up. I've got a couple plays in the MLB. Plus, we got the college football action going. And I got a 3-pack. I also have my 10-star play of the day. You can see how we've hit 9 of the last 10 days have been winning days. So looking to keep that rolling right here to start the new week. So jump aboard. Let's get some more winners, put some more cash in your pocket. Grab something long-term that we don't miss out on any of these late steam plays, because sometimes we do. We find some late plays late, and you get that emailed to you when you're on the long-term pass. When you're not on a long-term pass, you don't get those late steam plays emailed to you. So that's the way to go here at Tony's Picks. Use that 2-for-1 capper deal. Pair me up with any one of these great cappers on the show. That way you don't miss out on that 2-for-1 capper deal, because you know what? It's always great to have 2 cappers put money into your pocket. Christmas is right around the corner, and we know that's an expensive time of year. Let us help you put some money in your pocket and make your Christmas one to remember. Jump aboard. Let's continue to crush the books.
I have just made a 2-for-1 capper promotion with Rod Zawacki and Stephen Duncan, and there it is. And I can get it there $149 and get their picks for 3 days. Use that promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 15%. What you get, basically the plays from Rod and Steve, or whatever 2 cappers that you choose. You're basically paying full price on one. You get 50% off the other, and you just bundle them up. You get a bunch of extra plays here with the 2-for-1 capper promotion at Tony'sPicks.com. Thank you for mentioning that, Rod. That's a great promotion here that we offer on the site. So you get more plays from the crew. And I better at least talk about what I've got over at Tony'sPicks.com for today. Check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. I've got a 5-pack of action, 4 games in Major League Baseball with the early action, and I've got the big college football game tonight. Check it out over there at Tony'sPicks.com for $35. But use that promo code Tony T at checkout to save 15%. And thank you again to everyone in the chat. Thank you to Lando. Lando, you see him here, you see him across the street, checking all the shows out. Lando, thank you very much for being here. And thanks to everyone in the chat as well. Thank you to Rod Zawacki and Stephen Duncan today, guys. Appreciate you for being here. And I'll be back with more Morning Steam. We'll invite these guys back. We'll invite Jorge tomorrow as well, and all the cappers. Like I said, if you guys are just hanging out, laying low, not even commenting today, but watching the show, I'm singling you guys out. The crew that usually stops by and say hi, you are welcome to join us here on the Morning Steam. Just look at this as another outlet to communicate with your followers, subscribers, fans, and all the like. I'm here to get you the link, invite you on the show, and hopefully guide us along here along the way through football season. And boy, just you know, you figure they like just like they want to extend the football season into the U.S. holiday, you know, the President's Day there at the end. It just feels like you should have some football on a Sunday with a holiday on Monday. Just makes sense. But oh well, we got our CFL. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And we're back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. For Stephen Duncan, for Rod Zawacki, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us. So long.
The morning steam is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Knowing we're real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.